With Dustin Poirier, Conor McGregor, it's well documented that I'm a Conor McGregor dick rider. And I think because of that, we are blinded to the fact that, he's not active and he's won one fight at 155. And, he doesn't stay active enough to compete with guys like Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje and Charles Oliveira and Michael Chandler and Dariush, so we're blinded because if you're just new to the UFC, you're like, oh, he can do this. But if you've been on this insatiable ride that Conor McGregor's taken us on, and I'm so grateful for Conor McGregor being in the UFC, and there's nobody ever like him. There's nobody going to be like him. And I'm such a Conor McGregor fan. But I think because we're all such fans, we go into these fights very biased on what's really going on. So yes, he has all the money in the world. What's the motivation? And we make all the excuses. The fight in January, we go, well, he's getting ready for a boxing match, so he'll be better this one. We make all these excuses. So I think it's time we stop doing that. I think it's time we face the piper and let's talk about what's really going on with Conor McGregor and him breaking his leg literally in half, tibia and fibia. And what was alarming, and to me, again, being such a big Conor McGregor fan, I go, oh, that's just Conor being Conor. Because when he was interviewing with Stephen A. Smith, he goes, unless I get knocked out, I don't count them as losses. Okay, and even I was like, that's great, man. That's vintage Conor. Hell yeah, those don't count. But if anybody else said that, we'd be like, are you out of your fucking mind? No, it's mixed martial arts, dude. You can lose a million ways, and if you lose, a loss is a loss, Bubba. So we got to stop doing this just because it's Conor McGregor. And to say that his glory days are behind him is kind of fair because he's not in the same race as a Dustin Poirier. If any other fighter said what he said after this fight when he was in that octagon, when Joe Rogan was laying down in his suit next to him with his leg broken, and he's yelling, oh, this should be a referee stoppage, this isn't a TKO, this is ridiculous, and talking shit about his wife, and then signaling that he's going to kill him and saying, I'm going to get you in your sleep. Oh, you are? Oh, you're going to kill Dustin Poirier? For what? What are we talking about here? You're going to kill him? For what, dude? For beating you in a sanctioned fight? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. If this is any other athlete in any other sport, we are freaking out. The guy probably gets canceled, but we're cool with it because of Conor McGregor. And I think this is the first point where I went, oh, I'm not cool with this. I don't like this. And I think, the narrative is every show you're going to tune into, whoever you watch in this space, the story is all about Conor McGregor. And really, and rightfully so, right? He's the biggest star in the sport of all time. But the story really should be about Dustin Poirier and how this trilogy it's over. It's over. Dustin's 2-1. He's beat him as of late. He's a completely changed fighter. We can't say that about Conor McGregor. Can you tell me, out of Conor's last 5 fights, that he's gotten better? There's no way. Especially out of his last 3, tell him he's gotten better. Better at what? He's a great marketer, and we've all bought into it, but he hasn't gotten better. I think the game's evolved. I don't think he's doing the right things to keep up with the game. In the UFC, it's like he's taking all this time off, and then he's fighting the best guy in the world. Dustin Poirier is the best lightweight in the world. I know Charles Oliveira has a belt. Let's be real. We all know from you look at his resume, what he's doing. Dustin Poirier could have fought Charles Oliveira, decided to take the smart fight, the money fight, and fight Conor McGregor again in the trilogy fight. We know Dustin Poirier is the best 155 in the world. So for Conor, I think if they could go back in time and do it right, I know he's making more money than God fighting Dustin Poirier and doing this stuff and Khabib and these long layoffs. And again, even that, to go back to the excuses with the Khabib fight, and I've done this myself. I go, well, he didn't really train for that. He wasn't ready. Well, whose fault is this? Whose fault is it that he focused on boxing in the second fight for Dustin Poirier in January? That he didn't train like he should have for the Khabib fight? This isn't my issue. This isn't the fans' issue. This is a Conor McGregor issue. But we keep overlooking it because what he's given us as being a Conor McGregor fan, that we overlook all of this and make all these excuses. And for the first time in my life and the first time on this podcast, we got to stop. We got to stop. And I love Conor McGregor, but we got to stop. We have got to stop making these excuses. Dustin Poirier is a better fighter, a more well-rounded fighter. And especially in this fight, one of the things that I think the Conor dick riders, which I am, but I'm not the biggest dick rider, is him breaking his leg now goes, well, he broke his leg, man, so who knows what was going to happen. No, we know what was going to happen. Conor was doing well for about 40 seconds in that fight, got taken down. And what's interesting is, remember, Conor engaged the takedown. Conor got taken down, and Conor was wobbled on his feet, and that's why he went to the clinch and they got taken down. So if you go back and watch that fight, Conor initiated the takedown. Conor initiated because he was rocked, because Dustin Poirier rocked him on the feet. The Conor McGregor fans go, well, we don't know what's going to happen. If he broke his leg, if it went in the second round, what would have happened in the second round? I'd love to hear it. What would have happened? You think he would have done better? Because we know Conor, if you've been following Conor for his entire career, we know his first round's his best round. Well, he was getting beat up that round, dude, in every facet. The first 40 seconds were fun with those kicks and stuff like that. Other than that, though, Dustin Poirier won that round. The first round, which if you're a Conor McGregor fan, you know that first round is when he's most dangerous. So if we know that Conor is the best in the first round, and he lost that first round, your excuse is, man, if it would have went to the second, he would have done it. In what fucking world are you living in, dude? In what world? It would have got way worse. He would have got it finished. So to me, Conor breaking his leg was best case scenario for the Conor McGregor dick riders in Conor McGregor's camp and Conor McGregor. Because now we can go, all right, man, well, he didn't really beat him, but he did though. Because let's talk about it. Why did Conor break his leg? Was it because Conor just randomly fell back and broke his leg? Or was it because Conor threw a kick and according to Conor's camp, it landed on Dustin's elbow? Or was it because early on, Dustin checked the kick and then also pointed down, went, I know that fucking hurt? Were those the things that added up that were part of the fight and that resulted in Conor breaking his leg, which would mean Dustin Poirier beat him fair and square because he broke his leg because they're doing fighting movements, which resulted in Conor breaking his leg. It wasn't some random fluke where he just stepped back against the cage and broke his fucking leg. No, what are you talking about? You got to quit making excuses for Conor McGregor. The ride is over, kids. The ride is over.